What's up, guys, and welcome back to the LittleScaleCars YouTube channel. Today in the review box, we have the all-new Tesla Model S from Hot Wheels, new for 2024, debuting in the P case. It is hopefully a big improvement over their last Model S casting, so let's take a closer look at it and see if that is true and if it is worth adding to your collection. As always, let's get things started with our casting. So taking a quick look at proportions and everything, I am happy to report that we are pretty good, actually. Not anything really to complain about as far as I can tell. We don't have an uppercut to the chin this time, so that is fantastic already. Let's go ahead and kind of compare the two to the real-life car and kind of compare and contrast a little bit there. And then let's take a look at our casting here in detail. So, good news. Mostly metal here. We have quite a good chunk of it. Everything that's painted blue is going to be metal. We do get mirrors on this casting, which is good to see. Up front here, we do have this giant chunk of plastic here. This is all our window piece, includes the sides here. It's a thicker piece of plastic than I feel like normally, though, because it definitely, I had to shine a light on it to make sure that this section was actually a piece of the window. Moving on to the sides here, we get our doors casted in, look good. The little door handles are casted in there, which look really cool. Up front here, we do have the kind of signature traits of the Model S Plaid, which is very much good to see and kind of gives it a little bit more aggressive of a look. Coming into the back here, we will see that our wing is actually in the up position, which is kind of cool, I guess, but it almost looks like it's in a braking spot position, like it's aggressively up. So that's a curious thing, I would say. Then we have like some fake exhaust looking stuff here incorporated into our base, which does have some decent detailing to it. And that is about all we have for our casting. For our paint and deco, we get this really nice metallic blue, like a nice dark blue color. It looks good, and it is very close to a paint color that's offered from Tesla. However, I don't necessarily know if it was the best choice for the first edition. It is very reminiscent of like the colors that the Super Treasure Hunt original Tesla Model S casting was done in. So I guess that was kind of a nod to that. Maybe it does look good if you look at it that way. Moving into our details category. Starting right up front here, we have two very nicely tampoed on headlights here. Again, they are just tampos, so it is possible we will get one down the line that doesn't have headlights, so make sure you are aware of that. We do have the Tesla kind of strip, I guess, across here tampoed on, which looks good. And then we do get these kind of extra little light reflector things, whatever you want to call them, on the side of the front here, which looks good. We definitely have a very good, mean-looking front end view. As we make our way down the sides, we get these wheels here, which look good. I think they look fine. Probably one of the better choices they could have gone with. No kind of tampo work on this thing or on the door handles, though. A little bit disappointing. But when we come to the rear, we will once again be greeted with very nice detail work on the tampos, with our headlights, or taillights, sorry, looking good. A little Tesla logo there. We do get the Plaid logo, and we get a license plate here, and then an additional little Hot Wheels logo. So from this angle and from this angle, we look good detailing wise. Moving into our roll test, it's a Hot Wheels Mainline. Obviously it's going to roll, and it rolls very smoothly. Went ahead and put this one on the scale, and it came out to be exactly 35.35 grams. So it is a little bit heavier than the average Mainline, so that is really cool to see. Pros and cons, getting started with our pros. The biggest one is that this is the best way to add a Model S Plaid into your 1/64 scale collection. It is actually the only one that I know of. I wouldn't be too surprised to find out that there are more, but it is definitely going to be the cheapest way to get this car into your collection. And that being said, it is also a very nice casting. There's really not much to complain about here as far as casting goes, except for maybe one thing. And that one thing will roll us into our cons. The biggest complaint I have seen about this one, and I agree with it, is this rear wing here. So Hot Wheels, typically with their electric cars, we saw it with the Rimac and with the Lotus Evija especially, they put their rear wings up. And they put them up as high as they can usually go. So my guess is that's just what they did here with the Plaid for sake of consistency. However, this is such at an angle that I almost feel like it's the braking angle. Then that should lay a little bit more flat at high speed. but this kind of harsh angle makes me feel like the car is braking. Which, I mean, maybe that's the look they were going for, but that's definitely an odd look to have chosen, in my opinion. Moving into some quick size comparisons, here we have it with some other electric speedsters that you might have, with the Matchbox Tesla Model S, the original casting that they did, and the Hot Wheels DeLorean Alpha 5. And here we have it with some other cars from other random brands that you might have, with the Aston Martin Vantage GT8 from Majorette and the Mini GT Bugatti Divo. So with all of that out of the way, it is now time to give my overall final scores. The hype level is going to be about a 9.3 out of 10. I did see a lot of excitement from this one, especially because it looks so much better than the previous Model S casting. Execution, I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. The only thing I would have done is change the angle of that wing ever so slightly. Community input, I gave this one to the council, and here are their scores. The community was a little bit rough on the wing angle. They were much more upset about it than I am personally, and that's why you see the lower scores. These are going to round out to be an 8.4. When we take the three categories, add their scores up, and average them out, we are going to end up with a 9.06 out of 10 for our overall score. I feel like that's a pretty fitting score for the best Model S casting that Hot Wheels has ever done. To me personally, Mattel, their best work on the Model S is still the original Matchbox casting for the original Model S. That one is just very, very nice. But this one does have a bit of a more aggressive look, a more Hot Wheels feel, and I think it's a little bit more fun, perhaps, and more collectible for those reasons. There are definitely some things I would have changed about this, and it's mostly perhaps the paint color. I would have maybe gone with like a white for the initial release. And then the wing angle, as I've talked about for sure, would have changed that. But it's still very well done, especially at the $1 price point. The tampo work is really, really nice. I'm very glad that we have a nice clean version of it, because I'm sure we'll get some crazy decos down the line. And for a $1 mainline, there's really not a whole lot you can really complain about. There's some nitpicks and things that are a little unfortunate, but at the $1 price point, I think it's easily overlooked. So this is one you should definitely pick up. And with that, guys, that'll wrap up this review. That's all I really have for you. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and leave a comment telling me what your thoughts are on this particular model. And I will see you in the next video.